Kalimera. Actually, this was how a restaurant owner was greeting me every morning when we had holidays in Crete. This human relations and human touch was, I think, the best experience which we had that time there. And I will never forget about that experience. But after holidays, I had to come back home, and I found out very, very real and very, very serious problem. The studies show that 85 million roles may be unfilled by 2030. We need to think about it. So I started to think about it, and I understood that one thing that we may miss is multifunctionality. When one person can play or perform different roles in case of necessity. I was introduced to multifunctionality when I was a kid. My father, Professor and Dr. Tsiramua, he was researching the resilience of the systems based on multifunctional elements. And my mother showed me what was it in practice. In heart of times of 90s, we had to leave Georgia, leave the country. And that time, my mother had to take all the responsibilities of raising the children and household while my father was providing for the family. So imagine one person doing and performing different roles to keep the system alive, or keep the family alive, right? But I did not pay much attention to that. For me, it was just articles, books written by my father, and so on, until I faced it myself during my work experience. Please, raise your hands. Who had to recruit people for their project? Yeah. And do you remember the moment when someone left in the middle of the project? Did you have such case? Yeah, you had such case. Yeah, me too. And I was really, really frustrated, but I wasn't frustrated with the people. I was frustrated with the system we had. We could not find the backup on time, and our project was sleeping, and deadlines missed, and so on and so on. So I teamed up with my father and started to deep dive into this problem. And we found out that the teams which fail under pressure are built around narrow specialists. So one person can perform only one direction or one role, and as soon as he or she leaves, we face the issue of finding the people on time and miss deadlines and so on and so on. Important problem is that there is an issue with bringing external people from external market, and studies show that it's more than 45 days, but for technical and senior roles, it can continue to months, and even internal replacement can go up to 25 days. And another interesting issue, which we identified, is scrap learning. And I've met this in different work experiences, including Toyota. This is scrap learning, and based on the latest statistics, $13 million are spent in vain just for scrap learning. This is caused by about 45 to 60% scrap learning. When we pay money for trainings, we plan the trainings, we spend time, we send our employees and our team members to the trainings, but those trainings are not adopted to our team members. So the study, the knowledge they gain is not approached or used during the work. So we simply throw the money away. All these issues which we identified lead us to one important decision or idea. We decided to treat teams as the systems. And if we say that teams are systems, then we can engineer them. And if we can engineer them, they can be measured. They should be measured. And if they can be measured, then we can optimize them. And if we can optimize them, then we can build better teams just before we start the project. So what does it really mean to build a resilient team? And again, it leads me back to multifunctionality. So let's say we have a small team of 4 people, and they can perform only their own role. What happens if one of them leaves? One role is left unperformed, right? We say that the resilience of such team is 0. But as soon as those people can cover at least one role, the resilience of such team can be increased to 10%. But if they will cover all roles, it can increase to even 60% and 70%. Of course, these numbers are variables based on the size of the team, but you understand the point. Let me bring one example. This is our partner, Zencode, and they had ongoing project, and in the middle of the project, technical lead decided to leave. And well, the standard approach is that we directly try to find another technical lead. But we don't have another technical lead. So what they did, they identified the skills of their employees, the team, and found out that senior developer can play that role. And they had one backup of another senior developer in the company, so they made this switch. Their current senior developer became the technical lead, and the new senior developer became the senior developer. So instead of researching on outside markets, they made this internal analysis, internal switch, and their whole process, solution, decision, and transition, took them only 4 days. This is what we call building a resilience team, when your team can adapt during different issues or changes. In order to be able to do such things, we need to start with something. And this something is skills matrix. This is what Zencode did in the middle of the project, but still they managed to do it. But imagine what can be done if you already have skills matrix and you allocate your employees based on that. After you already have this and you build your team, there is one additional layer which we can add, and that's the AI. That's where AI comes into play. AI can analyze your team and tell you which specific skills are missing in order to increase the resilience and reliability of entire team. So it doesn't tell you simply that you just need to study specific development skills, but specifically for this person, for this project, you will need to increase these skills in order to increase the resilience of your team. Okay, maybe we don't have the skills matrix from the beginning, but what I would recommend here is to start with 2 questions. For each role, who is my primary person and who is the backup? And if you do not or cannot answer your second question, that's your point of failure. There is where you need to work on and pay attention to. But, okay, we can work around and build resilient teams as a human teams, but today we're already in a AI era, right? So my team doesn't consist of humans anymore. My team consists of humans and AI agents. This is where things become really, really hard to manage, to say so, because I believe you already noticed that the transition to this AI era is quite chaotic, right? We start using lots of AI tools, we jump into different tools, testing around, and we basically call this the AI transformation. But lots of companies, and in my experience as well, we make the decisions without considering the outcomes, which we don't see today. So before we needed to build a resilient human team, now we need to build human AI teams. And what happens there? AI doesn't give you always the same strength. In fact, it gives you additional dependency. If you will remove AI at some point, we can face some issues. And let's say, and let's bring this example. We have a strong developer, senior developer, who is performing quite well. Then we gave him AI tools. He started to use AI tools for a year. And what happens? His skills, entropy, right? Skills entropy. And in case of some security issues, we need to cut the AI off, and he needs to work alone without AI at some point. And he was not doing this for a year, which means that he will need some time to remember what he has to do and spend more time to perform as he was performing before. We did not notice because it wasn't one failure, it was going through time. That's what we call skill entropy. And it's very important to analyze why skill entropy can face, or we may face skill entropy in this case. And as soon as we will analyze that, we need to start facing that issue and challenging that issue. So in case of AI and human teams, we need to evaluate our human members, and we need to evaluate our AI members. And this becomes even harder. If today, in Opticrew, for example, we already managed to build resilient teams and create the tool for that, which analyzes the team skills, which analyzes the roles they need to perform, gives you optimized team, and then with the help of AI, it gives you the skill improvements and resilience plan. In case of AI agents, this still needs to be done and still needs to be managed. So I really encourage you to think about it, and we need to work today in order to be able to build resilient human AI hybrid teams tomorrow. And I want to finish with just 2 sentences, actually, because I believe that the winners will be not the ones who adopt AI fastest, but the ones who will design better human AI hybrid teams. So I encourage you to think about it, analyze your team composition, to say so. Check out if you have this skill data in your companies, and can you answer those 2 questions, where we say that who is my primary role player and who is my backup. This is it for today. Thank you very much. Kalispera. Evharisto.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, if any questions, I will be glad to.
Are there any questions that you would like to ask? or you can even, okay, cats. Yes?
Yes. You were saying that with AI, you can identify which are the missing skills. How this actually happens? If you can provide, what is the knowledge base? How it can understand what is missing from how I respond to tickets, from text that I have written. What is?
So we start with the skills matrix, right? We know who can do what, who has what skill. Based on that, we qualify each person to the role. But it doesn't mean that it already can be qualified to the team. So firstly, we create this pool of roles and pool of employees who can perform. And out of that, with the specific optimization, we create specific team for specific project. And then we teach AI to learn these skills, what they have, on which scores, and study the project needs, and identify which skill improvement would have the best effect on a team overall. So we calculate resilience and reliability mathematically of each team, and resilience means that team can continue working with the even after distractions, right? Something happens, project still continues, team can still continues. Analyzing that data, that numbers, and that information about each employee, AI then can tell you that this specific skill is missing in order to increase the overall balance of the team. Did I?
Yes, and who produced the scores?
Oh, that's very important part. Different companies use different methods. Some of them have simply manager evaluations. Some of them have previous project experiences. But of course, they not always can be 100% because we are humans, we can evaluate someone. Yeah, but the good thing about this optimization method is that even with the not so high quality scores, you can still receive very high results with optimizing the team because it does everything within seconds. And you already see that, okay, I was building this team this way, but it gives me this idea. Maybe I should listen to it. It's a support system in a decision-making process. Thank you.
Yes.
Please.
And with the introduction of the AI agents, how this optimization changes?
Yeah, it changes very much. This is where the pure scientific work which we're doing now, we are working on that. Because evaluating humans, for example, you need hard skills, soft skills, psychology traits. In case of AI, there are much more attributes, and they are changing faster. So we need better optimization models. And currently, we are working with Google in order to get their support in creating more efficient optimization method. I believe you know DeepMind and their project Alpha Evolve, which works on this direction as well. So this can be a great collaboration to achieve that fact that we will be able to estimate or evaluate AI part, human part, and their collaboration. So AI is not a separate employee. We will be evaluating their peer. So it's a story where we are heading, to say so. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the session.
Thank you.